Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be dealing with how to make a storytelling engaging. So let's now proceed. So the key here for making a storytelling engaging first is you need to look into a type of story that would be engaging in a way that there are lots of dialogues, lots of sounds that you can imitate, and then present it. So again, the key here is the storyline that you're going to be presenting first to your audience to make your storytelling engaging. When you are interested to the story that you're about to tell to your audience, definitely it will be reflected into your emotions, reflected into your sounds, your voice, your intonation, on how you express the words itself. How you put descriptions on it, because it can be clearly reflected on your face. So again, the key here is you need to choose first a story that is engaging already. Even if you're not telling the story itself, it becomes engaging already because the story itself is being engaging in a way that there are lots of dialogues, lots of emotions to be reflected and to be presented. So let's proceed. So the first one that you need to look into first is you need to begin with the stronghold. Like you try to look into like uh, greetings for your audience, or you could come up with one part of dialogue of the storytelling that you started right there. Okay. And another one is you develop compelling characters. Develop compelling characters in a way that you yourself, you try to divide yourself into the different characters, and how are you going to distinguish that one? You try to they can distinguish that one in terms of how you make your different voices. Like if it's a cat, you try to sound it like cat. Like for example, hello, hello, you try to put it into the voice of old man, young man, animal, like that. So hello, 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 hello. So you try to change the different voices of it. So to really look into the differentiation of the different compelling characters. Another one is you need to use vivid descriptions, like there are thousands of men looking into uh kids and all. So you try to put into looking you try to look into, you put descriptive words so that they can imagine, so that the audience can imagine what you are trying to say. So there are yellow flowers, yellow big flowers. So put so much description so that they can imagine that one. So that if you are trying to make a vivid description of if it's a horror story or it's something like a funny story, they can easily catch up into what you're trying to tell about. Another one is you need to incorporate dialogue, like, hello, Anna, how were you there? Like that. Oh, have you seen my cat? Like that. So aside from the narrative text and all that you're trying to present it or trying to tell a story, you need to incorporate dialogue so that the audience are being engaged. Another one is your story is not too boring because you try to incorporate dialogue, and make sure that when you put in incorporate dialogue, make sure that there are intense emotions in it, so that you can also add, I mean, props and all. So while you're trying to incorporate the dialogue, you have something in you or props in you that they can see, okay, as for your storytelling. Another one is you need to build tension and suspense. So what do you mean by build tension and suspense? You try to look into how the story goes in a way that if it's already a climax, make sure that the voice of yours try to build tension and suspense that it is already the climax of the story. Another one is you need to vary the pace in a way. There are parts wherein you try to make reading the text or telling the story in a fast manner, and then become slow, and then fast, and then flow, and then medium, or I mean in a medium way of or the natural way of speaking it, the natural way of telling the story of it. So like that. So slow, average, fast, slow, average, fast, and all. So it depends on the intense of the emotion that you're trying to present to the audience. So you need to use emotionally resonant themes in a way that try to look into the interest of the audience, so that it's easy for you to put and hook their emotions. Another one is you need to incorporate plot twist. So if some of them already know the story itself, you can like take a twist of the storyline or the story plot so that they will have an excitement listening to your story, even if they have heard it already. Okay. So another one is you need to use gestures, expressions, vocal variety. Like the ones that I have told you, try to have different voices so that you can make an engaging type of story. Another one is you need to practice, rehearse of it. So I know you're very familiar with the declamation and all. A declamation is a part of a storytelling. Oration, oratorical is also a part of storytelling. So when you try to practice and rehearse that one, you will eventually know which part are you going to make. I mean, a different intonation, a different voice, or a different pacing and all, or a different type of emotion and all. So practice and rehearsing really, will help you a lot to really look into the natural way of, telling the story. So engage the audience. You could ask the audience, like, have you been there? Or you can talk while you're having the dialogue, you're talking to the audience. That's another way of engaging the audience. And then after trying to finish the whole storytelling thing, try to reflect and learn from it. Reflect on or when you're trying to having a practice, you try to reflect, if I will be like if I will be one of the audience, would I be engaged or would I feel fun when I try to see this kind of act and all? So you try to learn from everything also, like from videos on how are on YouTube, on how other storytellers try to tell the story itself also, because they may have a different atake. So that's reflect and learn. And also, of course, try to listen to other audience or other people also, your audience also, because your audience would see and would tell you if your story is still fun and engaging. So you try to be, sensitive of your audience itself so that it's easy for you to catch up their attention on how are you going to make a plot twist on the spot of it, or you can how are you going to move at the same time while telling the story. Okay, so I guess that would be all. So I would like to end the discussion with the following. Now, I think stories have the power to transport us to different worlds. However, you need to connect yourselves with a diverse perspective, ignite your imagination, because they will remind you that shared humanity, inspired empathy, and shape the narratives that define who we are. In the tapestry of life, storytelling weaves the threads of our collective experience, fostering understanding, healing, and transformation. And I hope you're going to be a good storytellers and express yourself so that they don't have any misinterpretations at all. So that would be all, everyone, and have a nice day.